Up on the surface, the world is remarkably forgiving. We stumble, we correct, and gravity or weather usually gives us the room we need to recover. But beneath the soil, wild caves operate with absolute mathematical indifference. The stone doesn't care about your intentions, and the darkness quickly swallows the light and the rules of the world above. To navigate our daily lives, we naturally rely on instinct and past experience. We make hundreds of micro-decisions on the fly, assuming we can adapt if something goes wrong. That biological mechanism works perfectly, right up until you enter an environment where the margin for error is exactly zero. In the 1970s, two entirely separate groups of highly capable adventurers descended into underground systems. They brought the right gear, they mapped out careful plans, and they possessed the technical skills required for the terrain. And in both cases, they made a single, seemingly minor compromise that caused those plans to disintegrate. The core question here is psychological. How does an intelligent human brain, fully aware of the dangers surrounding it, justify breaking its own safety rules in the heat of the moment? Surviving a truly extreme environment requires acknowledging a hard truth. Our moment-to-moment judgment is inherently flawed. In the dark, the human mind is remarkably good at rationalizing its way into danger. In the late summer of 1977, 4 experienced outdoorsmen entered Roar Cave in northern Arkansas. Their objective was a technical photography project, a process that demands heavy lighting equipment, long exposures, and slow, deliberate movement through the rock. Deep inside the system, they reached a split-level room. Between the floor and a higher ceiling sat a 15-foot pit. Along the wall above that pit, about 20 feet up, was a narrow crawl ledge. It offered a tempting shortcut and a potentially better angle for their camera. The photographer, Smith, wanted to investigate that ledge. He asked his partner to spot him by bridging the pit, straddling it with 1 foot on either wall. But as this diagram shows, the geometry of the room refused to cooperate. The gap was too wide, and the walls were too smooth to support a human bridge. So Smith made a choice. He climbed up the wall anyway, without a spotter. 15 feet above the edge of the pit, his footing gave way. He fell backward off the wall. He struck the rim of the 15-foot drop, tumbled into the void, and didn't stop when he hit the bottom. He careened down a hidden 25-foot talus slope, a steep cascade of loose, sharp rock, finally coming to rest in a dark pool of water far below. He survived the fall, sustaining severe head lacerations and a chipped vertebrae in his spine. Pulling a barely conscious man out of a cave is an agonizing exercise in physics and brute force. Rescuers had to tie ropes under his armpits and literally haul his broken body up through a narrow, vertical rock constriction, dragging him inch by inch back to the surface. A decision made out of pure convenience to capture a better photograph resulted in a single lost foothold. That minor concession instantly forced a violent, excruciating fight for survival. 4 years earlier, in South Australia, the stakes were even higher. 8 master ocean divers arrived at a flooded paddock sinkhole known as the Shaft. The water inside the sinkhole was startlingly clear. A single shaft of sunlight reached all the way to the white sand floor, projecting an illusion of total safety. The team agreed on a strict pre-dive plan. They would explore the central rock pile, but they would halt their descent at a hard limit of 60 meters. But extreme depth manipulates human biology. Nitrogen narcosis begins to seep into the bloodstream. It works quietly, softening your judgment and narrowing your focus without ever announcing itself to your conscious mind. If we look at this 3D map, you can see the agreed-upon 60-meter limit. But under the quiet influence of that narcosis, the divers willingly swam right past that boundary. They continued their descent, entering a dark, uncharted tunnel beyond the central rock pile entirely without a safety guideline. The floor and walls of that tunnel were covered in fine, microscopic particles. The mere movement of their diving fins disturbed it. Instantly, the crystal-clear water erupted into a silt-out, a dense, expanding cloud of particulate that completely blinded them and erased their path home. In the open ocean, survival is simple. Up is always the surface. But in a flooded cave, the surface is a highly specific geometric coordinate. Tortures are useless in a silt-out. the light just bounces frantically off the suspended particles, revealing nothing but the trap you are in. The cave did not actively attack them. It simply possessed an alien set of physics that capitalized instantly on their narcosis-driven decision to cross a hard boundary. Only 4 divers managed to blindly navigate out of the silt and return to the surface. The remaining 4 did not. Discovered months later, trapped against a rock dome, recovery reports suggest 2 were found holding each other. After the Roar Cave incident in Arkansas, the official report quietly noted that people desire the freedom to assess and take risks as they see fit. That kind of personal freedom works in the daylight, but the tragedy in the shaft proved that individual human judgment is far too fragile to be trusted in environments where the margin for error is 0. The loss of those 4 divers forced an immediate systemic reaction. Just 4 months later, the Cave Divers Association of Australia was established. They stripped away individual guesswork, imposing mandatory guidelines, strict equipment standards, and hard certification limits. The impact of removing personal choice from the equation was absolute. Those exact regulations effectively eliminated cave diving fatalities in Australia for the next 25 years. True expertise in extreme environments isn't about trusting your gut or adapting on the fly. It is about willingly surrendering your freedom to strict, unyielding protocols, rules that were written in the blood.